This is the board meeting on KTRS.
9:09 here, Big 550 KTRS. How come I'm not hearing myself in my headphones? Am I hearing myself in my headphones? Okay, good. All right, 9:09 here, Big 550 KTRS. We'd like to welcome in the TV studio audience from KPLR 11.2, also channel 187 on your Charter Communications dial. I made a mistake. I know that's hard to believe. I said Missouri's playing Tennessee. Tomorrow they're actually playing Texas A&M, so I apologize for that mistake. Now, the board meeting is in session, and sitting in is Jane Duker, attorney, political consultant, all-around gadfly. Good morning, Jane Duker.
Good morning, McGraw.
Editor of the Riverfront Times, Chad Garrison. Chad, welcome back.
Good morning.
And Ed Martin, who's making a little bit of news of his own. Ed Martin, what is your official title now?
Well, I'm still chairman of the Republican Party, but
Okay.
for a few more weeks, and I'll be I'm president of Eagle Forum.
So you're doing dual roles, or
Well, the term as chairman expires. The election is in a few weeks, so
Okay.
I'm kind of we have our Reagan-Lincoln days in Kansas City on the weekend of the 20th and 21st, but I am the chairman is not a paid position, so I've always had my own law practice and other things.
And then so you're going to run the Eagle Forum? Is that?
Well, I'm president of Eagle Forum. Phyllis Schlafly, of course, who's
Sure.
the founder, she's still the chairman and CEO. She's still active day to day. Would that you and I have her strength and energy at 91, almost
Right.
91 years old. But she's still running things. She recently published another book this few months ago, an update of Choice Not an Echo. And so, but I'll be doing a lot of helping her with a lot of the work that Eagle Forum does.
One of the legends. I mean, she's legendary.
In terms of her, I told someone last week she was at the 1952 convention helping Taft against Eisenhower. Now, it sounds like a history book lesson, and it is, but she was also at the 2012 convention helping to make sure the platform included a pro-life plank and a marriage plank and all. So she is really a great icon.
Is she the reason why the ERA did not pass?
Oh yeah, everyone concedes it was. It had passed about almost 40 states, and then she took up the cause, and she and a band of mostly women rolled it back, and they beat it. It's an extraordinary story.
All right, so Ed Martin's going to be running the Eagle Forum, but officially you're still here as your capacity as the head of the Missouri Republican Party.
I'm just here to be a friend of yours.
All right, I'm going to throw it out to all of you. Brian Williams is in a little bit of hot water. Let's start with you, Chad Garrison. What are your thoughts as you watch this Brian Williams story unfold?
Well, it's an incredible tale on many levels. I mean, Brian's story is incredible. And the fact that this has gone on for how long is it now?
12 years.
12 years. And it's, it's sad. I don't know exactly, what it means. I think like in a different era, this would have been a bigger deal. If this were a Tom Brokaw or a Walter Cronkite or something like that. I mean, these days, the network news that has diminished. Not as many people are watching it, certainly. But I mean, it's
one
sad.
thing to have Dan Rather believe a source that turns out to be false about George Bush's National Guard record, right? It's another thing to go on Letterman and to lie about a military story that makes you look tougher than you are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a dangerous game he's playing.
I would say, though, to Chad's point is a really good one. The world has changed dramatically, especially in journalism. GotNews.com, which is Charles Johnson's website, has today published other errors Brian Williams has made that appear to be where he's stretching his experience and all. So this is how they deconstruct these guys. But I agree with you, McGraw, and what you're saying is if Brian Williams is we shouldn't trust him because he lied, like you said, then Hillary Clinton, because she lied about being under fire in Bosnia, she's now, shouldn't run for office, and she's done as a presidential candidate. I think that's what you mean, right?
Well, I think there's a little different of a politician stretching of the truth.
Really?
And
she wants to be commander-in-chief, and she's lying about being in combat?
Look.
I took bullets, and then she's looked at the video.
We can chapter and verse of politicians who stretch the truth, including Mitt Romney, including...
He's not president, not running.
Well, he was running at some
I know, but
point.
he didn't win, so we can move past him.
Okay,
now Hillary's running.
Whatever, right. But Brian Williams, who is supposed to be the most trusted man in America, wasn't caught using a bad source or didn't follow a story where it turned out to be factually incorrect. He told the story numerous different ways to make himself look really cool on David Letterman. Jane Duker.
Yeah, I am so disappointed. I mean, it's just like, are you kidding me? It's not okay. It's not okay. You don't get to say that things happened that didn't happen, and I don't know what you conflated. And
Hillary should apologize. That's what you're saying. Hillary
I
should.
think she did apologize.
Hey, Mr.
Did
Glass
she?
House will
Yeah.
get to you.
Did she?
Or a
However,
spokesman or somebody.
But I mean, I think that my understanding was he reported it correctly at the time, and then somehow, directions got fouled up on the way to the bingo parlor, and his brain just started melding in that he was there. This is
And
not.
his excuse doesn't really either. I mean,
No, it's not okay, and
if
you're
you're
supposed to be a journalist.
If
Are
you're
you a journalist?
shot down in a Chinook helicopter in Iraq, you would remember that. Or if your helicopter wasn't shot down in Iraq.
Right. It's hard to believe.
PTSD. Yeah, that
Right.
you misremembered.
Does he survive, Chad Garrison?
I don't think so.
He shouldn't.
No,
I don't think he should.
There's no way. And his credibility, is gone. I mean, Rather had to leave for those purposes.
But
I
he
mean,
was also at
stuck-
the end of his career, too.
Yeah, well, Brian Williams, how long has he been there?
He's been there 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
10 years.
So,
I mean, I just think that,
This will be the biggest fall from grace of any.
Absolutely.
This is unbelievable.
I am completely disappointed. I can't believe. But you know what? You have to be credible. You can't look at him anymore and be credible. I am glad that he told the truth, and I don't want to discourage people from telling the truth because that couldn't have been easy. I mean, think about that. You've been sort of riding this trail for a decade.
Well,
and
but
Can I ask though, Chad? Chad's a professional journalist. You are too, but he's a writer. He's a writer.
But Chad's a real one.
He's a writer. But Chad, you know that there's been a rise in the last 5 or 10 years of also the examination of people's writing to say that there were plagiarism. Right? There's been these sort of and people saying we got you.
Sure.
Doris Kearns Goodwin was caught plagiarizing of major sections. She apologized and said how it happened, and she moved on. And I think it was accepted. At least she came back, and the Boston Globe, the former columnist Barnacle, same deal. In the last few months, help me, Chad. There's a couple of prominent journalists that they've been analyzed. The question is, how do we have this sort of?
I think Breitbart got called in on that too.
Breitbart maybe, but one of the real, I think it was a really well-known writer. Fareed Zakaria has been called into the rug, and he's been targeted. And I'm not saying it's unfair. I'm saying he's been targeted by people who have reviewed everything he ever wrote and said this is a plagiarized or false or whatever. The question is, how do we have sort of gotcha journalism on the journalists? Because as you know, as writers, you will have a retraction in a paper or in a thing. You'll say we had an error, and as you said, that's one thing to. Or the UVA rape story. I mean, where a full article was written and it turns out that there wasn't confirmed sources. We're entering a strange period where journalists are on a hot seat that's different than we've ever had.
But it's different
right?
to have a source lie to you, which I think, not that it excuses, they should have checked it better. However, I mean, the difference is Brian Williams was the liar.
Right.
I think that it's certainly it's a lot easier. All your work is out there online now.
That's right.
And so you can go,
And it's
you
all
can go
permanent.
and find everybody's, search a person's byline and check their work. But I think to what happened with Williams here is the movement in journalism is to be kind of part of the story.
Yes, I agree.
Right.
That's right.
And so Williams is here. It's not he's not reporting on this from the anchor desk. He's in the helicopter and he is exacerbating what he his what happened. And
Well,
I
but
think that's a problem.
That's how people
Well,
get read.
and it's kind of
written.
this celebrity journalism.
Exactly.
Well, no, but it's gonzo journalism, right? I mean, that's the transition over time.
But it's
you're
all,
in the middle of it.
You're right, and again, there's a third level to this. It's one thing to believe a source that lies to you and tell a story and then have to backtrack and or retract it. It's another thing to self-aggrandize something to make yourself look better. And the worst of the worst is doing something in a war zone to make yourself look like
A tough guy,
right? That's as bad as telling people you're a veteran and getting the 25% off veterans coupon.
Like Secretary of State Kerry throwing his medals over that he didn't earn.
Well, that's another
You're
issue.
incredible.
That's a stretch.
I'm
but
just trying to
but
help
I mean,
here.
Brian Williams, I like Brian. I love Brian Williams. I
I
think
know.
he's
I'm so
fantastic.
disappointed.
I am heartbroken over
Me
this.
too.
This is the
I am
Peter
too.
Pan. His daughter doing Peter Pan. It really upset you?
No, I didn't see that. But I don't know how he.
I'm sick about
he
it,
shouldn't
yeah.
survive.
No, he shouldn't.
probably will, but I don't think he
Because
should.
if people like us who really liked him and trusted him,
Right.
can anymore.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
that
know.
simple.
All right.
I mean, it's that simple.
All right, Chad Garrison, Jane Duker, and Ed Martin's last show. All coming up, 9:20 here, Big 550 KTRS. The Piccadilly at Manhattan, ladies and gentlemen. You go bring Ed Martin to the Piccadilly at Manhattan. You might not agree with anything he says, but you'll have a great meal. Actually, all joking aside, the Piccadilly at Manhattan is in the Ellendale neighborhood, and it is a St. Louis. It's a St. Louis joint. It's the best pot pie in St. Louis, according to Brian Williams. He was there. He got shot in the leg while he was there.
Remember when I was a supermodel?
Yes.
That was awesome.
Jane
When?
Duker, yes.
Oh,
She was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Soups and gumbos and chilies, all of that made fresh daily at the Piccadilly at Manhattan. Catering, absolutely. First dates, 50th anniversaries, or maybe a power lunch or something just to sort of fill the belly. ThePiccadilly.com or the Piccadilly at Manhattan. Manchester, past on what is that? McCausland South, past Manchester. Make a right on Manhattan. Make a right on the Piccadilly. Right there, the Piccadilly at Manhattan or thepiccadilly.com.
This is McGraw Live on KPLR 11.2, STLtoday.com, and the Big 550 KTRS.
Are you ready for some real estate reality?